I wanted to demonstrate some really easy, quick DIY projects. So I'm going to use this deco print wallpaper, but it's actually really easy. It's a peel and stick. So I wanted to demonstrate something that was really small, like my laundry room, to see if it was just as easy as it looks. I wanted to try something pretty easy, as I believe that rooms are about layers, so one step at a time. So I'm going to be using this honeycomb design. I picked this one for this laundry room because this room is so squared. Everything is squared in this room. So I thought by adding some different dimensions to it, this would be perfect. I also wanted to do a project that was super quick. So I had sent in my room size and exactly how much in square feet that I needed in wallpaper. They also returned it to me actually numbered, so this way I knew by design where to cut. All I had to do was pre-measure and cut the electrical plates out of the wallpaper. This way it was a seamless transaction. What's really great about this wallpaper as well is it's actually renter free. So if you're in a situation where you're renting, this is something that you can apply without putting any damage to the wall or fuss to remove. I also wanted to create a design that created more movement for the room as I go further into this room to decide what other color scheme I want to go with. So I stuck with something pretty plain, but I really do love the design. What really intrigued me about the deco print is I can actually set in my own design and send it to them, and they will print it into wallpaper. But I really wanted to sample the wallpaper first, so this room and this little backsplash area was perfect to try. I was also really impressed with the fact that the wallpaper is water resistant. This only took 2 hours and I was really impressed with the quality. All of the information for this is in my description box, including a discount code. So if you're thinking about trying something in a small area, I would definitely give this a go. I'm really impressed of how authentic it looks, and I even had a little bit left over that I could put it inside my pantry as well. I haven't hand painted in a really long time, as I used to love painting on canvas. So I thought finding a few things outside for free and giving myself some practice, I thought I'd give this a go and share it with you. So I grabbed some brushes as well as some inexpensive paints, and away we go to see what we could create. Painting and practicing are very therapeutic. It's a great way to release your energy, and it's just a place to go. There's no rules. It's just playing, just like when we were kids. But the more we practice, the better we become. But it's not about being perfect, it's just about release, and it's just a creative release. So I really recommend, if you're able to, find something similar and just practice. You could make turtles, you could do starfish, seahorses, you could go with a whole nautical theme. I just chose owls because I love owls. But I'm so used to painting portraits of people's faces, I'm not as strong with painting with animals. But for me, this was really good practice. And you can pick any size you want, if you want your wood to be a bit bigger or your rocks to be a bit bigger. But this makes for beautiful home decor, and it has a natural element to it. All the supplies that I'm using, you could easily dollar store or even a Walmart. And if you practice, you'd be surprised what you can create. I've never actually really painted an owl up until now, but for a first time, it was pretty good. And like I said, It's okay to make mistakes. Just go back and keep repainting until you're happy. I think I've had to do the eyes and the nose at least 4 times until I was happy. It is extremely therapeutic just to paint and have some fun. So again, if you wanted to paint turtles or you wanted to paint other types of animals, the sky's the limit. It can be a lot of fun and it's very inexpensive. You don't even have to paint an actual animate object. You could even just paint designs or colors and space them out, or you can even do something of an Art Deco as well. But bringing natural elements and embellishments from outdoors into your interiors is a great way to have beautiful home decor. So I made sure to find a piece of wood that would hold the weight of the stones, and then I'm just going to use a hot glue, and I'm just going to create a foundation in order for the rocks themselves to sit straight up. Having been home a lot since we've got Gabriel, since he's a puppy, I've just been playing out in the backyard a lot and noticed these stones, so it kind of gave me a DIY idea. But you could go to parks or beaches and you'd be able to find so many wonderful stones. Again, it's a beautiful natural element from outside to bring indoors. But this gave me a really good idea. So all I did was put them into dish soap and then dried them really well. Once everything was fully dry, I just used a microfiber cloth to give them a really good buff and shine. Finding natural stone outside is a great, beautiful way to add embellishments for your home, even in glassware. But for me, I wanted to try something different. I found these paper mache leaves at Hobby Lobby for $5.99 and I got 50% off, so I got 2. So I thought it might be fun to give them a stone effect just using paint. I added a little saran wrap to a plate. This way I have a painter's palette, and I just put some colors that I thought would be really good for creating a stone effect. And all the paints that I'm using, again, you can pick those up at a dollar store or Walmart. You don't need any fancy brushes. I'm just using old chip brushes and some even new ones I haven't used yet. So I created a base so this way I can cover the entire paper. And all I want to do is create highlights and lowlights to begin with. Once everything became completely dry, I kept carrying through by using just a stippling motion. By using a stippling motion, what you're doing is you're creating the paint to actually rise up a little bit. So this is going to allow for further highlights and lowlights. So once you've created your base, and you go around and you stipple your first layer of highlights and lowlights. Let the paint dry completely before you continue to your next layer. I wanted to create a stone look for these paper mache leaves, so this way it could be kind of this art deco looking that I could use for a lot of different purposes. But because I'm creating highlights and lowlights so randomly, this is where the stone effect really starts to pop up. When you're creating a stippling effect, you're creating the paint to almost create mountains and valleys. So there's little high points and low points. So once it's dry and you go back and you keep redoing it, you're actually creating this very, very tiny little specules of different colors going throughout the entire project. And it looks amazing. Just by using the earth tones in the creams, beiges, grays, and just keep going around in random and using the bright white to really stipple, and this is going to kind of give it a very speckled look. The super fun part about this is the more layers you put on, the better. I really love this effect as it turned out on the paper mache. I wanted to demonstrate another really fun effect. So this is a clay pot that I also purchased at Hobby Lobby, and because it was slightly damaged, I actually got it at discount. I already have this pot, which I used as an inspiration to creating a new look for this little clay pot. So I chose to go with kind of a cream off-white color, some grays, and I also want to actually add in just a little hint of green. So very similar to the paper mache, I'm going to go around and stipple. And you can just use regular, inexpensive little artist brush to do this project. But I also wanted to try something I have not done before, and I want to use hairspray while the paint is drying to give it a little bit of a cracked effect. And if I like it, then I know I could use that as a trick for other paint projects. So for this one, I just went on even while the paint was still moist because I really wanted to feather down the gray and bring back the white at the same time. So in hindsight, I'm just really actually playing. So while some of this paint was still quite moist, I added the hairspray and just kind of let it get sticky and dry on its own. And what it did is it kind of separated out the paint a little bit. So when I did one side, I went to the other to paint, and then when I wanted that to dry, I'd add the hairspray, and then repaint again. And again, what it did is it created the paint to kind of separate out and give a crackly effect. And I thought it really turned out beautiful. But I tried a very small amount because I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but it did, so I look forward to trying that again. When I want to paint with anything, I like to use 3 tones, minimal. So I like to have a light, a medium, and a dark. And this really adds depth and dimension when you're painting anything. And now, once everything was completely dry, I went ahead and decided to add in a little bit of a vintage gold embellishment. So I made sure that my line that went not quite halfway down the pot, I wanted to make this line very irregular. And again, I used the pot that I already had as my inspiration. Thank you so much for watching this week's video, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you soon. Until then, take care.